You folks just stay there. So I'll have just a few comments to wrap things up. So I'm Glen Daigger. I'm a member of one of the members of the organizing committee for this. I'm a professor of engineering practice at the University of Michigan, which I've been there for a few years. I've actually spent 35 years as a practicing engineer, so I kind of bring both perspectives, so to speak. So I have just 5 things to say. I've been listening and taking copious notes and so forth, but some of the key things that I've heard today to share with you, maybe this will carry into some discussions both this evening yet and tomorrow. So the first thing is the obvious, but we had a great day today, didn't we? We all learned a lot from each other. We've made new friends. We've seen old colleagues, but we've made new friends and relationships that are going to carry forward. So this is a great first day, and really looking forward to the second day. Number 2, engineering really needs the human rights community. And let me expand on that somewhat in terms of some specifics. So, you know, President Anderson started by talking about the engineering profession when we're at our best. You know, we're solutions oriented and we're creative, and we're here to serve society, serve humanity. And I'm an environmental engineer, and we need the environment too. So serving people and the planet. The CSER, the cultural, ethics, social, and environmental responsibility of engineers, that's a relatively new program within the Academy, but I'll tell you that the Academy has been really for its history looking at how the engineering profession actually serves society and does a better job of serving society and the environment. And the truth is, we don't do it well enough. We need some help. That's one of the things we need from the human rights community. And Carlton Waterhouse, I think I don't see him here yet, but I hope I at least captured the essence of what he said. But he said what he wants for engineers is to be able to distinctly state, these are our standards of conduct. Now, there were some questions here about code of ethics. I think the question is, are code of ethics good enough? And the answer clearly is no, because we've had codes of ethics for decades, and I'm still a practicing engineer. Engineers not only need principles, they need to know how to operationalize them. So one of the, if you teach engineers or you work with engineers, they want to know what the go-by is. Okay, I've got to do this. How do I do it? This is a real contribution given the legal and the practice base that's here. I think that human rights can really help us to take and operationalize what we should be doing to accomplish the outcomes that are embodied in these codes. And David and Charlie, I think this is going to be something for CSER to work on. There's tremendous material. The first panel did a great job of framing this and so forth. The public infrastructure and several others. There's great content here that we can incorporate. Third, I will say that the human rights community needs us, because when we do our jobs the way we should do them, it advances human rights. So there's a real synergy between the two groups here. Number 4, engineers were oftentimes not fully the decision makers. In fact, we usually are not the decision makers. So the question really becomes is what is the role of engineers in the decision process? And it's clear that we need to expand our role in decision processes, but again, we need the framework and understanding and so forth. And I enjoyed the discussion about positionality, which is really looking at structurally how do the engineers participate in the overall decision process. That is a way of looking at things that engineers can actually very well incorporate. So again, some more tools. But, framework for the role of engineers in society specifically, not talking generally, but specifically will be a real help. My fifth item is about education. I have to say at the end of the education session, I was depressed. We've got a lot of work to do here in terms of advancing and revising engineering education. I think it's just not engineering, but it's a large part of it. But then I gained some optimism. So listening to some of the things that some of the younger faculty, Maya, Myra, Bethany, even Shirley Ann. So, we're figuring out some of the things that we need to do. We've got a lot of learning here in terms of how to actually put them into practice in the educational process. So, Bernard, I'm more a practicing engineer than an educator. And yes, you don't learn until you get out and do things in the real world. You just don't understand. It's tactile. You only learn when you actually go and do it. So how do we get that into the engineering education? We've lost it. We've lost it as promotion and tenure have moved and adopted the science model. That's really the big change, is that we used to do a much better job of it. So the last thing I'll say is in this exercise, I think that we've learned that actually doing this is challenging but fun. It's both, right? It's challenging but fun. And I'll leave you with a quote, a Yogi Berra-ism. For those of you that know this is one which I've come to appreciate more and more, but you don't hear very often. There's two parts of it. Yogi Berra once said that theoretically, there's no difference between theory and practice. In practice, there is. So thanks very much. I think we're done.